Uh, hey, I'm Lance Humphries. I'm the executive director of the Mount Vernon Place Conservancy. Welcome to Flower Mart. We have a great weekend of educational programs and sessions set up for during the festival time. This is really one of our first conversations that we're having as part of the festival lineup. And we are thrilled that for our first really kind of in-person interview, we have a representative from a community farm with us. Now, many of you may not know that Flower Mart was founded in 1911. You may know that. But importantly, when it was founded to encourage the growing of flowers, plants, and vegetables on in home gardens, like just in your home, and also on vacant lots in the city. And this is really kind of a remarkable idea that they had in 1911, that this would beautify the city and bring more green. And of course, it would bring access to fresh vegetables to those who lived here in the city. So today we are thrilled to have Kimberly Raikes, who's the farm manager from Whitelock Community Farm here in the city, with us to talk about what they are doing at Whitelock Community Farm. So welcome, Kimberly.
Well, thank you for having me. Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi. So I know a little bit about what you do up there at Whitelock, but can you just talk to us about when Whitelock was formed and how you first got involved with the farm?
Yes, well, Whitelock is a very open space. We don't have gates around our farm. We're located on two separate lots, one on the main lot and one on the south lot. Both are on Whitelock Street. We're in the Reservoir Hill neighborhood. The origination was about 11 years ago.
Wow.
They were adopt-a-lots that had been torn down, houses and the businesses that used to exist in Whitelock community were torn down, and it was just open space that had a gate around it. There
Hmm.
were two members of the neighborhood who wanted to correct it. So they began to come out of their home and start to clean it up. And then they began to have weekly dinners together out in the middle of this open lot.
Cool.
Um, they formed a group. Of course, you can go to Baltimore City and acquire adopt a lot, and they did. And we've been in operation, like I said, for almost 11 years.
And so when did you join the team there at Whitelock?
I joined the team at the end of, I'm sorry, in December of 2018, so really 2019.
Okay.
I've been there for since then as the founder manager, and I became a part of Whitelock as I started as a Future Harvest Casa intern. And in my third tier is when you're learning to be a farm manager. In that process, I took over another location, which was the Greener Garden is actually where I interned, which is the oldest Black-owned urban farm in Baltimore on McLean Boulevard. So I
Cool.
interned there, and that's when I learned about the opportunity to work at Whitelock. Before working at Whitelock, though, I was the coordinating farm coordinator for the Black Church Food Security Network. So we utilized churches that had land, and we built for them a bunch of different boxes, like 3 to 4 boxes, so that
Uh-huh.
churches in Baltimore were able to then grow their own produce and teach others how to do it. So that's
That's
how I
aw-
got involved because
wow, that's awesome.
yeah,
So I also saw in reading about you that you have a master gardener certification.
yes, sir.
And we have other master gardeners participating in the program this weekend. So we'd love to know more about, how that kind of influenced your training and if you're still involved with the master gardeners.
Yes. Once you're involved with master gardeners, you don't leave. Same thing with farming. Once you're in, you're in.
That's great.
But being a master gardener actually compelled me to follow in my grandfather's footsteps and to feed my family. My
Oh,
granddad had a property down in Fort Mitchell, and he would come back and forth to Baltimore and actually bring all of our food from the farm. So we
wow.
grew up off of fresh vegetables and fruits that my grandfather grew. After becoming the master gardener, it just intrigued me more to learn more, and that's how I joined Future Harvest CASA.
That is a neat odyssey. And so, are there some folks from the Master Gardeners that work with you now?
Yes, we have a wonderful gentleman named Alan who comes and he actually tested our soil. There he is. And
Oh,
that's
cool.
him spreading fertilizer on our property. Alan comes and does different things. After he tests our soil, he reads the results, and then he
Yep.
mixes up what is needed, and then he comes through, and what that picture you saw was him throwing out what was needed. He'll actually be back next week to use a liquid fertilizer. So master gardeners, we all help each other. He has a garden that's over in East Baltimore, I believe, or it might be West Baltimore, I'm sorry. But they are actually growing seedlings to support the Farm Alliance of Baltimore and other farmers who would like to have plants. They actually introduced us to a program this year called a salad mix. So what we are able to do, they were able to give us the actual plants and pots and soil. So we have distributed those to the children in the community as well as Dorothy Heights Elementary School, and they're learning how to create their own salad mixes. So they get lettuce as well as 2 green.
Cool. So that's kind of leads me into my next question. Are people in the Reservoir Hill community involved? Oops, sorry.
Yes, indeed. That's okay. Yes, people in Reservoir Hill in that community, and actually anyone who's interested is able to come and learn. We actually did a footage. My program manager, Joaquin Franklin, did a video to show how the process is done. So anyone who would like to have their children receive one of these kits, they 3 pots and 3 plants and all the things that you need in order to make it grow. We're asking the children to take pictures throughout so that we can put those on our Facebook page and show everyone what the youth are doing.
That's awesome. I love little seed pots as a kid. I think once you do one of those, you kind of get hooked because then
right.
you just see it happening and it's like, wow, from this little piece of dirt grew this plant.
That's right.
So,
and that's the important part of being at Whitelock Community Farm. We want to help others to learn how to do and grow their own garden. You don't have to have a big yard. You can use containers. You can even use the recycle bags you buy from the supermarkets, the little 99-cent fabric bags. Fill them with soil and put your seeds or your plants inside. So after COVID, during COVID, it was really important, especially in a food desert, to have people learn and know where their food comes from and how easy it is for them to do it themselves.
Yeah. So, I think you're reading my mind because my next question was to kind of ask you what you think is the most rewarding thing about working there at Whitelock.
Well, the folks that you meet on a day-to-day basis is rewarding, but being able to facilitate and answer their questions as well as give them information as soil or plants or whatever it is that they need for the plants that they're trying to grow. That's the exchange that is really vital, especially in small communities. Someone who knows something should be sharing it with others so that other folks can do it. And it also beautifies the community. So that is the rewarding part for me.
Yeah, well, I love that kind of transmission of kind of excitement of, you loving what you're doing, and then they get hooked and they do more.
Right.
So it's our understanding that there are dozens of these city farms around the city of Baltimore. And when I heard that, I was like, that's just amazing. Because what's cool that you're with us today is, Whitelock is like barely 2 miles from Mount Vernon Place, where we have the festival when we're, in person. But, you're literally just around the corner. But are you guys all kind of talking to each other as a group, the various farms in the city?
Absolutely. We're called the Farm Alliance of Baltimore. And there are 16 farms and 9 community gardens. We all support each other, especially during COVID when folks needed help. We went over to support other farms. We're currently doing it at a couple of farms now. We meet on a regular monthly basis. We also have marketing meetings as well. And because we service Waverly Farmers Market as well, We are constantly in communication with each other. We text each other every Friday to say what we're bringing to the market on Saturday. So yes, we are constantly in communication with one another, and we support one another with help, equipment, volunteers, whatever is needed. We're one big family.
I think you were mentioning that. So like when you were talking about when we spoke before we got online here, that just when you were sprouting your plants this spring, is that how did that work? I think we're looking
Well,
at some little.
Whitelock does not have its own, well, it has a nursery, but it's not heated. It doesn't have electricity.
Okay.
So we utilize what is called the Greener Garden. It is the oldest Black-owned farm in Baltimore, been in operation for over 33 years.
Wow, that's
They
neat.
have, yes, they're wonderful. And they're, like I said, that was my internship. So I had an opportunity to learn firsthand from two experienced farmers because they're a husband and wife team. And it was really great to be able to work with them side by side and learn everything that they knew to get me prepared for the next step. Their nursery, as you can see, is nice and pretty. It has electricity. You even have music in there so that the plants can kind of vibe and
Oh
have a
yeah.
good feeling all day. So
Are,
that's a
are they
really wonderful place.
are they being sung to all night long? So they're
Yes, they
happy.
are. They sure are. They're the happiest seedlings you've ever seen.
So my last question for you is, so obviously you guys grow stuff in the season is, I guess, really just are you really just kind of getting off the ground probably? But so how do you sell your products to the community?
Well, we will start a farm stand on May the 15th. It will run through November. It is the Saturday from 10 to 1, and it's right on the corner of Brookfield and Whitelock. You won't be able to miss it because we keep it pretty decorated so everybody knows that it's there. We
Yeah.
also have a tent, so it's under the tent, but you'll see vendors and things going up the street to allow any of our community folks who have things to sell to come out during that time when we're out there for the farm stand. We also have a CSA, which is Community Supported Agriculture. So you can come on to our website, sign up for the CSA, pay for it, and every week you can come and pick up your box of produce. It usually comes with 5 to 7 items, including herbs. We do sell produce as well as herbs and some
Yeah.
tree fruit. We have fig trees, pear trees,
Oh,
and
yum.
American plums. So we're looking forward to adding that to our CSA this year. They've only been planted for 2 years now, so we're looking forward to them really giving us a good harvest. We
Yeah, I love.
also
Are
have,
you guys growing? You said you're growing figs?
yes, we do have
Oh,
fig. Yes,
love those. That's neat.
yes.
So what will be I'm just kind of curious. What will be the first produce kind of coming in season in the next, say month?
Well, right now we have lettuce, Swiss chard, kale, uh, mustard greens, and chives. A couple of herbs, cilantro that's just coming up, and a little bit of parsley. Within the next month, you'll see a lot more lettuce. You will
Yeah.
start to see the tomatoes come out. We're trying to wait for this last frost before anybody does anything with tomatoes yet, because it's been a
Yeah.
crazy weather cycle. So you'll start to see a lot more of your summertime vegetables will start to produce, even if they're not at the market. Just know that they're on the way. And as soon as they're ripe enough, we're going to pick it and make sure it's at the market. But you will get plenty of lettuce. You'll have plenty of greens. And the new rotation will start to go in because a lot of us had things going on in the winter. So that's why we have so many vegetables and things already going on.
Yeah. Sounds great. So I know that we had your website up on the screen here a minute ago. We'll put that back up, I think, for a second. So anyone wanting to learn more about Whitelock Farm can obviously go to your website. Probably has some of I've seen it has some of the details you talked about, Kimberly. Where you guys are and your hours and things like that. So I just want to thank you so much for sharing, doing this great work in this urban farm in the city, which is such an important part of the original theme of Flower Mart, and for you joining us today to share your story. I can't wait for people to see this. These things that we're posting on as part of the festival are going to be on our website, for a long time to come. So it's great. It's a great story to share with people.
Yeah.
So good luck with your farm this summer. Hope it rains just enough and not too much.
If I could, I'd like to give you one more way to contact us. And this
Oh,
is,
sure. Please do.
okay, it's called Get Involved WCF, which stands for Whitelock Community Farm, at gmail.com. So that's another way that you can get involved if you'd like to participate at Whitelock Community Farm.
Can you repeat that? So it's Get
Sure.
Involved.
Get Involved WCF at gmail.com.
Okay, awesome. Well, Kimberly Raikes, Farm Manager, Whitelock Community Farm, thank you so much for your time today. And like I said, great luck with your growing season this year.
Thank you.